My income taxes may double? Yep, look, I don't mean in any way to be an alarmist. This is actually old news, but the effects of COVID-19 on our economy have brought this front and center once again. In this video, I will educate you on this topic and talk about why this is especially important to you if you're looking to retire in the next few to several years. And I'll also show you how you can avoid this issue altogether. Make sure to watch the very end because you'll get an invitation to my free masterclass with the US government and Wall Street don't want you to know about saving for retirement. It's an eye-opener. And I go over alternative ways to save for retirement that outperform your 401k. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. All right, so the United States government has been campaigning for decades to convince us to defer all of our taxes to retirement. Now, that just doesn't make financial sense, and you'll learn why. Ed Slott, who is a national tax expert and the author of the Retirement Savings Time Bomb, says taxes are the single biggest retirement risk. And the U.S. is facing the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. So you have to wonder, how the heck is our government going to pay for all the trillions of dollars in stimulus checks and bailouts, not to mention double-digit unemployment numbers, and the national debt is at $26.5 trillion. How are they going to pay for that? By raising taxes, of course. In 2009, former U.S. Comptroller General David M. Walker wrote a CNN op-ed entitled "Why Your Taxes Could Double." He laid out the case that sooner or later taxes will have to double if our country is going to avoid bankruptcy. At the time, Mr. Walker didn't know Congress and President Trump were going to lower taxes in January of 2018, and they did so at a cost of $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years. We will experience historically low tax rates until we revert to pre-2018 levels in 2026. As a result, the increase in tax rates beyond 2026 will have to be all the more severe just to keep our country solvent. And the Congressional Budget Office reported in 2008 that if Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid go unchanged, the lowest tax bracket would increase 2.5 times. Keep in mind that was 2008 and 2009, before COVID-19 and its effects on our economy. Think about how that would devastate your retirement if you were planning on deferring all of your taxes to the day you retire and then finding out you have to pay 2.5 times more than you would have had you just paid while you were working. How would that impact you? So it's no wonder taxes are your single biggest retirement risk. But to put today's tax rates into perspective, the top marginal income tax rate in 1960 was 91%, which applied to income over $200,000 for single filers or $400,000 for married filers. Thresholds which correspond to approximately 1.5 million and 3 million, respectively, in today's dollars. And it wasn't until the 1980s, after President Reagan took office, that rates came down below 70% for that top tax bracket. It was also during this time that the traditional 401k was first made available, bringing tax deferral to the forefront of personal finance. At the time, with taxes high and debt low, deferral made sense. Retirement is when we need our money the most. But if you have most of your retirement savings in a 401k, 403b, or IRA, you are deferring all your taxes to retirement, and you'll be taxed at a much higher rate. Seriously, whose retirement are you planning? Yours or Uncle Sam's? When you think of taxes, ask yourself this question. Would you rather pay taxes on the seed or the harvest? If you were a farmer, Would you rather pay taxes on the seed or the harvest? The same can be said for all of us as we plan for retirement. We start with a seed, watch it grow over time, and then we enter retirement with the intent of reaping the bounties of our growth, only to find out that the IRS has a right to a large part of it. With a qualified plan like your IRA or 401k accounts, you are deferring all of your taxes until retirement. On top of paying much higher taxes on that money in retirement, your money will actually be taxed twice when you die. Once on the money left in your account, death tax, and again when your beneficiary receives the leftovers as income, inheritance tax. And then we have 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day who are taking Social Security and Medicare. Social Security is projected to become insolvent in 2035. Medicare will run out of money in 2026, and Medicaid in 2028. And you know, when Social Security was created in 1935, there were 42 people contributing for every one person drawing benefits. Now there are 3 people for every one, and guess what? When Social Security was created, they set the benefit age at 65. Any guess what the average lifespan was at the time they created Social Security? 62. So basically, they were counting on almost everyone dying before they even got to the age of using Social Security. And now it's transformed into this program that almost everybody uses and lives on for 20 to 30 years. And nobody wants it to go away. You don't have to be this guy. There are solutions. There are 3 vehicles available to get a tax-free income in retirement: a Roth IRA, municipal bonds, and permanent life insurance, in this case in the form of a fixed or indexed universal life contract, otherwise known as an IUL. The difference between the 3 is risk, contribution limits, age restrictions, returns, how your money grows, income, RMDs, fees, funding, access to your money, and death benefits with living benefits. An IUL contract has no risk to stock market downturns because it's an index product with a ceiling and a floor, so 0 risk. No annual contribution limits, no age restrictions, easy and penalty-free access to your money, market-like returns, tax-free growth, tax-free retirement income, and no required minimum distributions. You get a death benefit with living benefits, and there are limited fees as long as it's structured properly. And by saying that, you really have to be careful about this because there are not many agents who know how to structure this properly. Now, unlike an annuity, you cannot roll over a 401k or any other qualified money into this account unless you pay taxes on your qualified funds first. On top of that, you get living benefits with an IUL. So if you were to have a heart attack or a stroke or become disabled, you can use the life insurance death benefit tax-free to pay your medical bills. If you are a high-income earner, there is an amazing and very special IUL that almost no one has heard of. A life insurance policy is jointly funded by the participant and bank financing. Just like your employer would match your 401k contributions, a bank will match your contributions to the IUL times 3. If you'd like to know more about IULs or this special IUL program, I would recommend that you take my masterclass, What the U.S. Government and Wall Street Don't Want You to Know About Saving for Retirement. I go over alternative ways to invest your retirement savings safely and that will outperform your 401k. At the end of the masterclass, you'll be able to apply for a free retirement income analysis where you'll learn exactly how much income your current retirement plan will produce and how long it will last. If this video has been of value to you, please give it a like, make sure to subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Also, comment below with your biggest takeaway, and also feel free to let me know what other topics you'd like for me to cover.